Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, that was much grander than I was expecting than I was expecting it to be. Sorry, I'll try that again. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm still just getting a couple of things set up, so I'll be right with you. Just making sure that that's all. Yep, that's all working fine. So that's all good. Hello. Thank you very much for choosing to spend an evening here. I'm excited for this stream. Like, more writing streams, more chill music writing streams. The scary part's over. The scary part, generating a story, getting everything on the page. That's the scary bit's done. So it means we can kind of just. It's more about making things better rather than trying to come up with anything new. So that's already much less scary than what happened before. But now we actually need to turn it into a script, into something that we have to perform and record and edit and score and stuff. Which is exciting in and of itself. Good morning, Mysterious. What did we say? Morn even the last time on stream. Always good to have you here. I think we just fire in morn evening, or I was just about to flip it around and go, what if we just said evening? Yeah, that doesn't work. Evening? No, it doesn't work no matter what way you swing it. I'm gonna stop embarrassing myself. So I'm excited. I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit more. You know what I I'm getting all of the silly stuff out now, so then it means when I actually sit down to write, it'll just be good words, rather than whatever just happened was. Starting strong, I think. Do I have anything to report? I don't have anything to report. I think it's just a case of let's get on with things. I think. So no hamletting this time. Hopefully not. Well, we're not. You know, I think hamletting is an ongoing process. I tried to make like a highlight clip out of the whole hamletting thing, but I was just like, there's no way I can put this in context that makes it make sense. So I gave up. So what are we doing? So today, once again, we are back on our wonderful journey of doing more experimental audio stuff by turning a game of Anamnesis into an audio drama. So we have our game. I have headings now. I've gone back through and I've put in headings so we can quickly access different parts of the script of the playthrough. And then down here we have the script. This page looks a little bit scary comparatively. But yeah, so we have all this. So fun thing. So 2 people have entered the jam so far. Have finished their entry into the jam so far. There's yourself, which is another game kind of like Anamnesis. I think it's like a hack of it that is also very good, and I would quite like to maybe turn into if this goes well, do an audio drama version of that game as well. And then there's also Anamnesis, which I believe has been mentioned already on stream, but it's where's it gone? It's a Twine game, which is really cool. I find that very, very cool, and also the artwork is fantastic as well. I'm interested in it because it's a Twine game that has audio. That's very interesting to me because I think that was one of the reasons when I very briefly had a dalliance with making text games. The problem that I had was that all of the programs weren't really designed to have audio in them, or at least the kind of audio that I wanted to put in them. They weren't designed for audio dramas, I think is what I'm saying, which shouldn't be surprising because nothing is. So I'm kind of. I'd be something that I do want to make at some point when I have time to learn how to make things is a sort of text-based game that is also an audio drama. So it's like, imagine like a sort of narrative video game without any graphics. It's just text and sound. But I need to learn how to make games and things, which is quite difficult as it turns out. But yeah, so if you want to check out the jam, by the way, I'll put a link in the chat, but it's yeah, like I'll maybe put an alert for that as well, because the 50 people have joined. So whether or not there's 50 things at the end of January remains to be seen. But hopefully we'll have something by then. Hopefully. Because that was the other thing I drew up. Where's it gone? I made a very rudimentary, emphasis on the rude, production schedule. So I don't normally make these, for reasons I'm about to explain. So yeah, I've made a little entry for each episode, for scripting, recording, sound design, soundtrack, artwork. Because that's the thing I forgot about. We're going to need to get artwork for this at some point, and then also need to workshop it as well. So, looking at it like this, it looks really scary, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to get this done, by the end of January. But I think that's just me, kind of, when you're staring at a lot of work, at like a big pile of work, it looks very scary until you actually start making it. But it depends on how many episodes we get through tonight. It depends on if I want to maybe do some more writing outside of the stream, which I'm not against, just because we do have a deadline, and it's a loose deadline, but it is a deadline nonetheless. Obsessed with the little flowers and butterflies at the top of your document. Yeah, so I don't think I've explained this on stream before. So this is a little program called Desktop Meadow. It is actually on Desktop Meadow by Sam Person. It's a free program. You get little letters from people who have also joined the who've also kind of downloaded the app. Sam Person is also just an excellent creator to follow. They come up with some very, very fun little things. They managed to get Doom working in Notepad, and then they also managed to get they made a desktop goose, which is a menace. Lots of very, very cool things. I would highly recommend checking them out. But yeah, so it's the same person. It's the same person who did Desktop Goose, and also became the last Kinect developer. There's a wonderful video of them basically trying to resurrect the Xbox Kinect. But yeah, it's the same developer. I really like it. It just adds a nice little bit of extra visual, something nice to look at while I'm working on spreadsheets, apparently. So the plan today. My plan for today is the way we're gonna work this is that I'm gonna basically copy the stuff that we wrote while playing the game, paste it down here into the episode 1, and then we're gonna start taking it apart, putting it back together again, adding in details like sound design, music cues, extra characters, extra lines, that sort of thing. So I think because I'm very aware that the way I've written the entries, I've sort of written them in a prose style, which is fine, but for audio drama, one of the great things is we get to kind of decide a different kind of voice for it. So I think it's going to be interesting adapting it into an audio drama, and that's going to kind of be that's our plan. So let's get on with that. So it's entry 1. Also, I've decided I want kind of this as well. I'll explain my logic behind this as well when we actually get to the scripting process. Let's put in. Where's it? So we've got about a page and a bit, so that'll probably work out about 5-6 minutes, which is pretty good. See, I don't know whether to, because at some point I don't know whether to do this for the Bandcamp release. I probably will do for the podcast introduction. I'll have an introduction to the game, because we're going to be releasing this in the Tin Can Audio Presents podcast feeds. That's the plan anyway. And the idea is that, like all the shows on the Tin Can Audio Presents podcast feed, there'll be an introduction, but I also, with this one, I'm also going to have to introduce the game as well. And I don't know whether to put an introduction to the game in, like, as part of the main text, as part of the Bandcamp release as well. That's a problem for later, but what I kind of want to do is have where's the scripts? Have things like this, and the when you are ready, take a deep breath and wake up. I want to kind of have that, maybe have that at the beginning. You know, have that in the script, because I just think I want to try and have as much of the text, as much of kind of the game weaved into the scripts and into the story. Just because I think that's interesting, and it kind of hints that there is something outside of what's going on. Right, I'm gonna put that in as well. Okay. So trying to think of a way to do this. Okay. So we're going to have titles. Potentially have titles with an introduction. So I'm going to put most of this is down to formatting, is the thing. Let's do some sound. So lots of things we can do. So for instance, you know, I wake up to the sound of wind and rain lashing against a window. That works fine for prose, but for audio drama, you know, you can just cut that out and actually just have that sound there, you know. And as you know, long-time viewers of the stream will know, I have a very large sound effect library of just rain sounds. Tang Whistle, hello! Fantastic timing as always. We're just getting into the scripting side of things. We're already at a pretty good length for an episode. We've got about it's going to be about 5-6 minutes, which is kind of perfect, even just with the monologue as is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. I just need to actually get started, I think. I don't know why that went 3 tries. Well, I only saw it once in the chat at my end, so you're all good. Internal room ambience, wind and rain, hitting a window. We'll have so I like the idea of having this start with, you know, have the waking up sequence, right? So you start with just the room sound, and then having another voice say when you are ready, take a deep breath and wake up, and then that's the moment. Have like a sound leading up to that. See, I think this is why this is going to be such a difficult process for me, is that I'm so used to writing scripts that I'm going to be editing and recording, so I kind of know what they're going to sound like, but I find it very difficult to communicate that to other people, to communicate like, this is how I think it's going to sound. It means that for when I'm doing things like folklore, having to explain what I think I'm going to do with the sound leads to me saying, I think at this point it's going to go sort of wha, which isn't a technical term at all and doesn't really make sense, but I know what that sounds like. So I think that's going to be the big challenge of this stream, is kind of trying to communicate, and I think it'll be interesting to look back on as well, is trying to communicate what I think it's going to sound like at this early stage, and then coming back later and seeing if I've been consistent with that. So here's hoping. So we'll call this so we like a okay, and then we'll. Now you may be asking, do I have a scripting program like something like Celtex? And the answer is yes, I do. But for something like if I have like multiple characters, or something like the Tower, or something like Middle Below, where there's lots of different characters, I would use something like Celtex, or was it Final Draft, I think it's called. I have a very old version of Celtex, like a desktop version, which is great. Like it actually works, unlike sort of modern Celtex. Yeah, for something like this, I'm kind of okay just typing it out in a document, because it's mostly going to be monologue, so I don't mind kind of doing it this way. Especially since we've already kind of got a story written out on this kind of stage. The days of yore when Celtex was desktop and also free. So at one point I was switching from a laptop over to another computer, and what I ended up doing was I basically took the installer and copied it over onto this laptop. I put it on a hard drive, and ever since, whenever I've got a new computer, I've basically just plugged in the hard drive, and then I've got this desktop version of Celtex. It still works, but it tells me every so often it's time to upgrade, and I'm like, no. So there are free versions available online, but I wouldn't know where to find them. Anyway, yeah, it's just no, thank you, not today. Okay. Person waking up suddenly, sitting up, breathing. Not deeply, just breathing is fine, Google. Right. Okay. So this paragraph, I think we're probably going to replace most of it. Not because it's bad, as much as clunky as it is. We can use that as a start jumping off point, but yeah, I think. Right. Just need to find a first sentence and then we'll get going. There is no burning wood. There's nothing in the room with me other than the door and the window. Okay. Here's the way we're going to run this. Just because we're going to have... I'm trying to find the best way to... If we could not have double spacing, that'd be nice. How do I do this in? Single, please. Thank you. There we go. That's the best way to do it. So, because we're going to have, I think we're going to try and do an interesting thing where we have the main character. We'll need to. We'll need to come up with a name for them. Is going to be both monologue and kind of in scene talking. Because I do think we're going to have a sort of James Sutherland and Silent Hill being like, "What is this? Where am I?" Not in that voice, obviously, but yeah, I think we can have a just to make it slightly more dynamic and slightly more interesting is having a mix of the two, rather than just having monologue. Not that there's anything wrong with just having monologue. It's just that I think I'm interested in seeing if we can sort of split between the two. And then we'll take that as well. I think at this point, just have some wooden floor creaking sounds just to indicate movement, that whoever this is looking around. Ah! Whoops, wrong button. I am sitting in the middle of some strange patterns drawn in chalk on the floor. This empty apartment room. Oh no! Formatting will be the death of me, I swear to God. Right, there we go. This empty apartment room. Right, let's look up tarot. What was it for this one? 7. Ooh, that's fairly unique, I think. So there's what, 6. Seven pentacles hanging from the lush green vegetation. Let's see the rider throat. Just see the original designs more than anything. Okay. it's just some dude looking at looking at a bush. Okay. There are 7 guy who gets to reap the fruits of his labors but is so tired about it vibe. Yeah, I can see just the I thought these were potato plants, turns out they were pentacle plants. I can't eat pentacles. They're sharp. I don't know. Just get it out. Just surrounding me. Like small circles with pentagrams drawn on the inside. Just making it very clear that these are pentacles. Because also I think as well, you know, not to like try and guess how people are going to listen to this, right? But I like the idea of like people who are maybe familiar with the game or familiar with the tarot deck, kind of hearing something like that and going, "Oh, 7 of Pentacles," and then either kind of going, "All right, so this is the card that they got," or kind of going, "Oh, how does this relate to what's happening in the game?" I just like that as a nice little detail. I think more than anything. I don't think it means anything, but it's a nice idea. Oh god, my hair is just refuses to behave. Right, is that all the mood? It's like that horrible length where it will mostly go into a ponytail at the back, but there'll still be a couple of hairs that is like, no, I want to go this way. I like having long hair. I really like having long hair, but it's a lot of work. There's nothing in the room other than door in the window. I feel like I've communicated all the information that I was gonna have here. Okay. Right, I'm gonna call the main character Anam just for the time being. Because I don't think we ever name them in the script, so I don't think we ever find out what their name is. I know we had a very brief discussion, either the last stream or the one before, about the importance of names. In this instance, they're not ever going to get named in the script or anything like that, but yeah. So I think if we come up with a better name, I'll use it. But for the time being, we're going to go with Anam as the work name. Yeah, we'll tell you what, we'll do the classic, oh, what happened? That's a big mood. Okay, I think we can probably just... I think we can put that there and then have that as a so just to be absolutely clear, VO stuff is monologue, so it'll be kind of outside of the scene, and Anam stuff will be stuff that's happening in the scene. So you can think of this as like dialogue, and that's monologue. So I could call them mono and dia, I guess, but that seems a bit too artsy fartsy. Yeah. Okay, let's get up. Let's wooden floor creaking. Oops. Footsteps. And then I can, well, what we'll do is we'll have the wind and rain, or what's that to say, window sounds get louder. I think we can just have that as a bit of VO there. So I'm aware this is mostly going to be editing rather than writing. I hope this is interesting. Either way, it's nice to be doing it on stream. Because also as well, I think we can start kind of thinking about the tone and the overall vibe I think we're going for. Because what I'm kind of picturing is the opening of Silent Hill 2. That's sort of where my brain is going to. Just that very sort of grey, quite quiet sound and ambience. Almost kind of dreamlike, I think, is probably the better description I'm going for. Yeah, dreamlike, I think is a good is the operative word. I think. I really enjoy the vibe of these streams. Good, chill, creative energy to start my work day. I'm glad. Like it's very strange to think that this is a morning stream for some people, but it makes sense. Like there are two streamers that I follow. One of which is a Silent Hill speedrunner, incidentally enough. One of the streams they do at the weekend is they speedrun something like the entire Silent Hill series. It takes them the whole day. It's like 8 hours or something. But when I join, they're normally like 6 hours in, so I get the last little bit. Okay. So I think we can. I'm gonna know what this means. Hopefully, I remember. So. Basically, we're going to introduce this idea of hearing echoes quite early on. I'm going to call them audio ghosts. So you start to hear these little bits. I think we'll maybe get a couple of different voices. I'll probably open it. That's actually a fun thing we can do. When we get to recording, I can open it up. So I'll ask my dear audience to just record themselves saying Anamnesis potentially, and then fire that in somewhere. I'll need to think about that. I'll need to think of a way to make that work in terms of sending them in and things. But that's a fun idea. I like that idea a lot. So it means that for the echoes and things, the you can have the audience have a bit more of an input. I like that idea a lot. That was the initial plan to do that with Zardos, incidentally enough, with the Dungeon Economic Model, but we just ran out of time. Also, I feel like having to explain the kind of chanting vibe of Zardos in Dungeon Economic Model without explaining what Dungeon Economic Model is, I think would be very difficult. Anyway. Okay, so here's the thing. This next bit, right? This next bit. We never worked out who this was. I never figured out what this deal is. Who is this? I think it should be this part. It should be Anam. It should be almost like they've come free of themselves, you know? That it's the shadow. It's the hanged man. That's who I think this is, and that's the one. That's the kind of only real thing that makes sense narratively. Like, you know, I thought it might. You know, I thought, well, maybe it's the person they're looking for. That doesn't make sense. Maybe it's somebody else that's gone missing. But then that also doesn't make sense, because then why would they leave? You know. So I think the only thing that makes sense to me is that it's almost like a ghost version of themselves, which is going to be interesting to sound design, I think. And then, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's the same. I'm thinking it's, you know, it's the same person, you know. Because that's how I'm justifying it in my brain. I don't think it'll be a heavy rustling or anything like that. I think I think I'll maybe kind of carry it through, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how the sound design will work at this point. I'm just going to say something moving. Coming up through the floor. Two heavy footsteps. It might, or alternatively, it could be this voice here. You know? That makes sense. I think that could also work. I'm just going to call it a voice for now. And see where that leads us. So we can come back and address it later, I think. Because then also I kind of like the idea that it could kind of be oh goodness. Because I like the idea that it could also maybe be you know, the game talking, you know, do a kind of a meta thing. But do we right? Does this bit make sense? And you didn't do everything right to get here. Oh no, that doesn't make sense. Give me 2 seconds. I don't need those. Ugh. Okay. You would do it. You asked for a lot with this and you didn't do everything right. I hope it was worth it to get here. I can get rid of the though. You're on your own now. And that it was worth leaving. I hope it was worth everything you've lost. There you go. And this is all just... this is a sigh, you know? Right, this is a sound, rather. Oops. Rain on the windows? Rain on the window. There you go. Step back. Rustling clothes. The clothes I'm wearing tug at me. There we go. I can just take that there. It appears to be a robe of some sort with a fabric that feels unfamiliar to my skin. See, do we describe what's underneath? Because it's... Just because... Like, I don't normally describe what characters are wearing. Just because I don't feel it's relevant, but I feel like it is kind of relevant here because it's part of the card. Don't know. It's interesting to have a narrative dictated to like this, because I think normally for something like this it'd be like, well, we don't really need that. We don't really need this, but yeah, I guess we kind of have to keep all of this, don't we? I think these episodes are actually going to be real short. But that's okay. Let's just write it first and then worry about that later. Like, we're here to tell a story. Maybe add something metallic. Yeah, well, I mean, I think... Again, I think that's maybe like that just comes under rustling clothes. I think I'll have that's more of a discussion for sound design later on, I think. Because I think there will be like decals and things, and it's not so much the sound design of the audio of having clothes. I think it's the thing that's throwing me off is the description of what the character's wearing underneath. Just because I feel like it doesn't necessarily, I feel like you get this in monologues, specifically in audio drama monologues, where when they describe what they wear, it feels like they're listing their inventory, which, I mean, I guess that's appropriate here. I guess that kind of works, but yeah, it's just I think it's maybe it's something that we can kind of figure out later on, and I don't know. At the moment, I'm not really sure how much I want to deviate from what we've already got. I think that's maybe something for maybe after we workshop it, or maybe once we've got a first draft of the whole script. Of the whole season, the whole story. We can kind of go back and kind of go, right, well, are there any plot bits that we want to expand and kind of move away from the initial playthrough? But I think that's maybe a question for later. I think I'm overthinking, and I think I'm looking too far ahead into the distance. But yeah, I think we're okay. I think we can. Let's find a circle pattern on the back. That needs to change. Because what did we get? We got 2. Okay. Maybe have each sleeve or something. Yes, I think that's more interesting. I find 2 circles. Worst case scenario. Hello, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us. Loving the turtleneck, looking very comfortable, looking very comfy. Thank you. It is very comfy. It's a very, very lovely thick jumper. I really like autumn and winter because you get to wear jumpers. I'm definitely leaning into that this year. How goes the scripting? The scripting is going okay so far. So we're kind of jumper season is the best season. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's interesting at the moment. I think the sort of tension that I think I'm having, like, we're coming to the end of the first episode. I think the tension I've got at the moment is that at the moment I think I'm sticking quite strictly to the story that we wrote when we were playing the game, and I think I'm kind of at the stage now where I'm like, how far away are we going to move? How far do I want to move away from that? Because I think the first episode we're looking at maybe about 5 minutes, if that. I'm okay with episodes being short. I don't mind. Like I don't mind microfiction. I don't mind nanofiction. It's more just if there's enough in the episodes to want to keep listening, to want to listen to the next episode. But I think that's a problem for later on down the line. I think at the moment, let's just write the thing, That could just be me though. But let's get on with this. So I find a circle pattern. Oh god, did I accidentally? Oh no, I edited the wrong thing. Whoops. Okay. I tend to agree. You can always pad out with atmospherics and extra bits for world building without taking away from the quality of the listening experience. Yeah, I think we can do a lot with space. Oh, that sounds like a redundant thing to say, but I think because there's obviously going to be music. And I think we can just fill out a lot of the space with the music. And using that to kind of create atmosphere and a little bit of world building. Space is always a blank canvas. Yes, exactly. and we can really take our time with the pacing of this. And yeah, I think that these are things that always worry me when I'm writing a first episode. Is kind of like, is there enough here? But I think we already have a story. This is the thing. We already have however many pages. We already have 11 pages of story already. It's just a case of taking those 11 pages and then turning that into audio script. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemist, but that's just peanuts compared to space. Listen! It's big. It's really big. Right, yes, I need to correct. As I take off, on the back of I won't need to put a sound there. Taking off robe. I shook off the robe and realised that underneath the robe I'm wearing more familiar clothes. That underneath what? Okay, let's rephrase this so it actually works as a sentence. As I shrug off the robe, I recognise more familiar clothes underneath. There we go. As I shrug off, goddamn. I promise I do know how to write things. I recognise more familiar clothes underneath. Cool. Two of the circles with star patterns inside of them. So drawn. And then we can put the line. And then in the middle of the circles. This is all stuff in base sound design. Okay, then let's take that out. And then I think we can maybe. Just. I think we can just cut that line, to be honest. Cut the line about placing them in the middle of the circle. I think it's just a case that, like, I don't think that's necessary. That doesn't come up later. I don't think that's necessary. I think maybe just a case of, like, we just round it off with, you know, there aren't any more answers in here, so, like, or something along those lines. I don't know. The room offers no answers. No clues. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize there's only... there's a better way of... No. No clues. I think we can do a thing here. Sort of like a, you know. Just had a thought. I don't think I own a leather jacket. There'll be a sound effective one somewhere. And what's a thump, you know. It's a problem for that. I know what that means. That's the important thing. Yeah, because all of this is going to be rain and wind kind of on a window outside. So I like the idea of just kind of... I look out the window and realise what I have to do. Glad I bought a coat. Glad I brought a coat. I've got a fake one I could always drop with Pello or something when I'm in Glasgow this weekend. I mean, that's much appreciated, but I think we do actually have one somewhere. If not, like there'll be sounds of leather. I think if we went into what, just let's have a look. Oops, not free sounds. Get prepared to leather jacket. Brave is the soul that types in leather into free sound. Rubbing the leather jacket, clothing past, slightly squeaky. Let's have a look. Leather jacket whooshes. Is that what I'm looking for? There it is. That's all we needed. You know what? I'm going to download that right now. Download. There we go. We got it. God, we're already ahead. Fantastic. Ayo. Okay. God bless the internet. Okay. We stay in the room for a moment. And that's the end of episode 1. That is the end of episode 1. So I think we'll... I don't even know how long that is. I think we'll have to time it later on, but I think we can probably fill 5 minutes with that. I'm okay with that. Okay. Now was it Shift Enter to do a page break? Nope. Control Enter. There it is. Page break, because we're professionals. Okay. And we'll call this episode 2. I don't know whether to call the episodes acts or like keep them as acts. I quite like the idea of I'll call them episodes for now, but I don't mind potentially renaming them as acts. Yeah, okay. Let's get Act 2 copied down. So what have we got? 8 of Swords that we need to... So I do actually know how I'm going to get the 8 of Swords into this, so that's not going to be a problem. That's not an issue. Excuse me. And then the square. I'm gonna have to do like I don't know if Freesound will maybe have a sound for soggy books, but we can certainly. I do actually already have the sound effect for soggy books, So I have a recording of rain on like a pile of wet leaves. I think that's gonna be the wet book sound. I think. Soggy boxes. Just it's you'll be surprised what dangerous search terms there are on free sound. Not the soggy books. Well, we're not going to be. No books will be harmed in the making of this audio drama. I will pledge that. I will pledge that to you now. I will promise you that. You know, we've already got a sound effect. We already know what sound we're going to use. We're not going to have to make any more. There will be no soggy. Like we will mention them. We will mention them in the script. Otherwise, you know, we're not. There will be no books, no soggy books, no actual soggy books in production. I don't mind ruining the illusion for you. It will not. There will not be soggy books in the sound design process. Okay. There's a better line here. Glad I remembered to bring a coat. That's a better line. Okay. It's more thematic. The cardinal directions: never eat soggy woodbooks. Never edit soggy woodbooks. So I just saw the WB and it was just odd seeing the together. Anyway, sorry, I just zoned out for a second there. Okay. Steps in a stairwell. I actually have a really good sound effect for that. From a film set from years ago. So that's going to be the VO. I walked down a flight of stairs and out into the rain. We can add an extra sound there. Front door. Outside. Rain. I think it's going to be very difficult to make like a rain, like find an outdoor sound that's not going to be, that's going to sound empty enough, but I think that's just something we work out when we get there. I think we just take that down. Yep, that's fine. We can have footsteps. See, I think this entry is slightly longer, which is wonderful. I think because it's more descriptive. It can maybe be, but there's not really much to talk about in the room. That's the problem. Like, can maybe expand this description a little bit more, just to make it feel a little bit more dilapidated, a little bit more empty. Maybe make it dusty or something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Footsteps. We can kind of have a little interlude here with some music, just kind of carrying things, you know. We can kind of have we can just have some music while this character is walking around. I think that'll be interesting. I think we can take a bit of time to explain the temple here. Above the entrance is there's a long cut. No. What is the name of, you know, when you go to temples, there's like a, there's normally like a mural above. It's not carving, is it? Fresco. Thank you. Oh, la la. Just gonna make sure that's the right one. Fresco. Bella Fresca. Well, if anyone wants to, if anyone's wanting to go for a dinner in Glasgow, yes, okay. Let's talk about this fresco. An old, withered fresco. 8 swords. Regular Michelangelo. Of 8 swords. Pointing down. In the middle of in this in the middle of the line, there you go, that's better. In the middle of the line of swords is what looks to be the face of a woman wearing a blindfold. Because that is a description of the 8 of swords. Because how does it look? It's a very. So the 8 of swords depicts a woman in the Rider Thwaite. What is my tarot deck that doesn't have any genders on it? Sure. Just because I'm curious. My 2 of swords, 3 ace, 7, 8. Ooh, okay. That's an interesting pattern, don't you think? Square and genderless, that's me. Quite proud of that line. I wish I'd delivered it with more confidence. Yeah. Okay, that's a better idea. 8 swords. Each other in a complex that looks almost cage-like. In the center of the swords. Nope, I refuse to change that. Okay. In the center of the swords is what looks to be the face of a woman wearing a blindfold. Yeah, I think I'll keep that because I think that's interesting. Oops. Footsteps on stone steps. Right, do we hear things here? I think maybe we do. And we can maybe make it quite subtle. I think what I need to do, because there's the echoes of distant conversations and things like that, I think I need to separately write extra dialogue to record, basically. It might be something that maybe like whoever, if I bring in extra voice actors to kind of just improvise a little bit, and just sort of have that around. Or I genuinely might just get take some lines from the book and just get a few people to read them, and then it means I can just have them, or even read the prompts. That's not a bad idea. Because then it just means that yeah, because I feel like that's consistent. You know, I feel like that's more consistent as having that there. That's something I'll have a think about that. But I'm glad that I've said that out loud. So it means if I do watch this back, I kind of know. You know, I kind of remember that I had that thought. Okay. Various voices, whispers, distant. I'm going to put in square brackets. Reading from the game book. There we go. Because then it means we can again, because it means or even they could read the like the keywords as well. Have that as well. Maybe have that, because then that's just an extra. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, because then I think it'll be kind of dynamic, but also it'll be interesting to listen to as well. That's the hope. I mean, the hope with all of this is that it's interesting to listen to. Yeah. Okay. Walking away. The voices fade. The voices. The voices. The voices, rather. The voices fade. Because that's nice, because then it sort of ties... It ties the memories to specific places. Which I think is really cool. I think that's an interesting idea. More walking. Because I think with this bit here, like hearing stuff while at the bookstall, I think we can do a lot with it. We can have the character kind of be a bit more like hello, like they can talk a bit more, and yeah, we can bring in a bit more of that character. I think this episode is already longer than the first episode. Pop No, I. Excuse me. Okay, you're gonna have to keep doing it back. Okay, that's fine. Actually, there's a better way of doing that. Ah! Yes, there we go. Nope. Why is formatting so complicated? Okay. I think we can cut this bit here. And we just have the character walk over to a stall, and we can communicate that through sound design, through the through the sound of soggy books. We can communicate that rather than having to spell it out. And then also, like, I begin to hear the echoes of something that almost sounds like speech. That can go as well. So yeah, a lot of this we can cut a lot of this and just communicate that through sound, which is exciting. The sound of devastation. just standing at the stall and then just sort of looking around and going, these books are wet. It was weird saying that out loud. It felt really weird saying that. Oh, that did not feel good. That did not feel good to say. Those were not good words to come out of my mouth just then. Okay. A couple mixtape. Hello, wonderful of you to join us. I was listening in at work, but I'm home now. I was very impressed how fast you found the leather jacket sound. I've been doing this. I'm very familiar with free sound. Been working in. Ooh, let's answer this question. How long have I been making audio drama? 2016. So 6 years. 6 years, and so I've very familiar with finding sounds very quickly on free sound. But hi Sam, wonderful for you to join us. We're good. We're 2 episodes in, which is very good. I'm excited to kind of finish off. I don't know. I think I'll maybe finish episode 2 and then maybe call it there. But I might keep going depending on if I've got the energy. But no, it's not like it's good because there are bits that are, like this big bit that I've just talked about, like that can all be communicated through sound design, which is good. So it means it's not just me, narrating the game that we played. Like we are actually properly adapting it and turning it into a sound piece, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. We just need to communicate that through sound design. Right. Footsteps. Walking over to a stall. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have it as like a general ambience, and then I'm going to sort of fade in this ambience of being closer to the stall. So there'll be like rain on an awning. Yeah. It'll be like rain on an awning, and potentially like it'll just be and then potentially some like wet leaf sounds to simulate soggy books. I'm just gonna call it stall ambience fades up. So that can go. And then we can bring back the audiobooks. By the way, if it would be helpful for audio clips, I made an audiobook of Anamnesis. It's downloadable from the itch.io page. Feel free to use it however you want. Thank you. I was actually going to ask if I could take some clips from it. So thank you. I'm glad I have your permission to do that. Thank you. I will be doing that. Just because, like, I was annoyed at myself because, so, you know, pulling back the curtain here, viewers. I've messaged Sam about potentially adding some extra stuff to this audio drama, and then after we had that conversation, I remembered that there was an audiobook version of Anamnesis that I have now downloaded and listened to. It's really lovely. So yeah, I'll be using that. So I'm glad that that's one thing I don't need to think about. Remember that I need to do. Although I think I still will get people to record, ask people to record some of the prompts and some excerpts and stuff as well, because I think that's just to have lots of different voices all at once. Okay. So we can get rid of that one as well. Still happy to do extra clips if there's anything else that would be helpful. Thank you. There will almost certainly be something. Yes, I will let you know if I need anything else. I probably will, because it's an audio drama, and there's always going to be something that I've not thought of. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's get this character talking. Right. What would be the natural reaction upon hearing? I love doing that as a writer. You're kind of at a point, and you sort of have to stop and close your eyes and go, what would a normal person do in this situation? Okay. That can go as well. Is that me talking? Who am I talking to? Does the character say this out loud? Is that me talking? Okay, let's put some stage directions in here. And then again, again, I know what this means. Like, I'll come back to it later and I'll go, oh, I understand this, because I'm gonna have to direct myself. You can't ask me what a normal person would do. I'm not normal, Dev. Well, this is the problem. Like, I have to stop and think and go, hang on a second. I've heard about normal people. I've read about them in stories. What would they do? What would they do in this scenario? Why is it whenever we're talking about normal, trying to, give some semblance of being normal, the song that has cat samples in it comes on? Anyway, okay. It's just like I turned 30 this year. I thought I'd have this figured out by now. Apparently not. Is that me talking? Who am I talking to? So I will need to record some extra stuff of myself talking in there. Okay. Okay. And then pause. Okay. Plalt, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are enjoying the stream, and I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you for following. All right, and then let's bring in the. I always think the Poppy song tends to, just be the final thing that knocks people into following. I'm really enjoying this Twitch channel. I'm really enjoying the stuff that's on there. But oh man, when that song came on that was made out of samples of my cat, that's of the streamer's cat. Oh man, that was the thing that I wanted to be a part of this. I'm normally the adult of a given professional situation. I don't like that. I'm 28. I'm just a boy, dang it. Yeah, so this is something I don't like, right? So this is absolutely me being a grump. And I want to preface this by saying I'm incredibly... Hi, I'm Tang's sister. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, it's good to have you here. But yes, I want to preface this by saying I'm very lucky that I've found such a wonderful audience in the stuff that I make, and that it's a privilege to be a part of the audio drama community, especially in the UK, in the indie audio drama community, and be seen as someone who has something worth saying. That is a huge privilege. I do not take that for granted in any way. It is. I'm incredibly happy that has happened to me, yes, it is an absolute privilege. That being said, I think it was I can't remember if it was earlier this year or a year before, but there was like a wave of new audio drama shows, indie audio drama shows in the UK, and this was great. That's fantastic when that happens. But then somebody referred to me as a podcast elder now. Again, flattered, but also I'm 30. I'm like that like the old guy in the Monty Python film going, I'm not dead! I don't want to go on the cart. Great podcast elder of the before times. Grant us your wisdom. The before times. I mean 2016, yeah, 2016 was the last year, and everything after that has just been 2016 again. Anyway, sorry, writing. Yes, that's what we're here to do. Okay. I turn back and see the temple almost watching over me, and know that the two places and the echoes of feeling drawn from them are connected somehow. I'm 34. Like, it's not... I'm not... Like... I came to the startling realization that I'm old enough to be a parent to a high school child this week. Yeah. So the job I worked at before I went freelance full time, it was a hospitality job. So we had it was the moment of realizing that I was kind of, I was used to being, the sort of spry, the sort of spry young 20-year-old, realizing that I wasn't part of that group anymore and I was part of the older group. That was a fun realization, but at the same time I was okay with it. That was the thing. And then I was speaking to a new member of staff, and they were like, they were quite shocked that I was in fact 28 years old. And I'm like, well, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? And they went 19, and I went, I have to get out of here. One time I had to break it to an 18-year-old that there is no magical age where you suddenly feel like an adult. The response was, oh no! It's like, wait, no, you mean this is it? This is it? What? I came to this realization in conversation with a high school child that I tutor, who told me my favourite song was also their dad's favourite song! Oh no! Yes, it's realizing. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for the. Sorry, I got confused by the noise because that's not happened before. Plot, thank you so much for the gift sub. That is the first gift sub we've had on the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. What would we have here? I was promised confidence and worldly knowledge. This is a horrifying realization. You're like, sugar, I need a more responsible adult. You look around and realize that it's you. I just... I miss having the cocksureness of a teenager. I was immortal and assured of my ability to navigate the world. Now I'm fatter with anxiety. Yeah, the first gift sub is a special one. Okay, so there's a lot of different threads going on here. So, first of all, I am actually kind of enjoying being older. I kind of, a 30-year-old can't figure out how to reply properly to a Twitch chat. Like, I'm the same. Like, when I'm watching people on Twitch, I'm absolutely the old person that lurks in the chat. Like, I'm scared to interact with older people. But no, like, sure, there's stuff I don't understand. I make stuff on TikTok. I have no idea if it's any good or if people like it. You know, I don't fully understand Twitch either. But I think sorry, I will get back to writing in a minute, I promise. But I think when you get older, because your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25. I only found this out yesterday. Oh my god. I think once you reach 30, I think I think there's this sense that you're kind of carving your own place. You sort of make it work for yourself rather than trying to make yourself fit in a box. You kind of build your own box. That's what I feel anyway. I feel like I'm not a very good example because I also realized I was non-binary when I was 29, so it's wrapped up in a whole load of other stuff as well. But I remember I was saying to people that I was looking forward to turning 30 because then I felt like I didn't have to pretend to be relevant anymore. and I mean that. I still mean that. I think you're facing the wrong way. You know, I feel like when you're a teenager, you have to sort of you stop being interested in the weird things that you were interested in because you're trying to fit in. But then as you kind of get to your late 20s into your 30s, you start realizing that you don't care and you start liking those things again. But that's just my experience. I'm very aware that it's kind of a cliche of people in their early 30s to talk about what it's like to turn 30. I hate it. Shakes your hand in relatively late to the queer self-realization party. Didn't clock my being arrow ace non-binary until early mid-20s. I mean, I'm still figuring it out. Like, I don't think I ever will figure it out. I think it is difficult when you're older because there's a lot of stuff. There's more to unpack because you've kind of settled yourself into a lane a little bit and you're trying to break that out, which is incidentally the age I think my personality kind of settled. That's what happened with me as well. I think a lot of it came from being more comfortable with myself and being a bit older, and I think that allowed me to be comfortable and having the emotional maturity to think about that. Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff I'm unpacking and unpicking, but that just became very clear, and I think that was just the fact that I knew how to have those conversations with myself. You don't know quantum mechanics and how to close a black hole? Shaking my head. I know a couple of things about quantum mechanics. I can, but sort of in the very sort of like popular science area. Like, don't ask me to do a lecture. I can write very artistic monologues about quantum mechanics. And if you're interested in artistic monologues about quantum mechanics, The Tower is available on all good podcast platforms. I don't know how we got onto that, but yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird trying to figure stuff. I mean, it's weird trying to figure stuff out at any age, but I was very impressed by those artistic monologues about quantum mechanics. Thank you. I was quite proud of them as well. I'm still figuring it all out too. Wasn't until a couple of years ago when I realized my aesthetic attraction tendencies lean by. Hard to tell that stuff when you're arrow ace. Well, I mean, I just want to draw your attention to the color scheme that I chose for the stream graphics. There was definitely a vibe there. I haven't quite factored in the non-binary colors into my aesthetic yet, but we'll get there. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more comfortable not labeling myself for myself, but equally I don't grow frustrating with using them as a shortcut to help explain to others. That's a big part of it as well. I think it's, for me, it was realizing that there's we like putting people in boxes and having a bit more experience in being able to sort of see the boxes, I think is interesting. But again, I don't know if that's from being older or realizing I'm non-binary at the age of 29. I don't know if the two things are the same or if they're both related to it or not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, everyone walks their own footsteps. You know, everyone walks their own path. And I heard the tower for the first time and I said, "Is this Celeste?" Shh, the lawyers will hear you. No, it was heavily inspired by Celeste. Celeste was very much the initial inspiration for it. Thankfully, it grew into its own thing. I was very worried. I wonder, right, much like ogres, onions, and Kit Kats, I have layers. You know, people contain multitudes. That's the phrase I was looking for. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this lovely sort of discussion about. I don't know about realizing things while older. I guess I don't know. This piece of music, incidentally, is called Electrons. I know we were just talking about quantum mechanics. Okay. Right. I turn back and see the temple. No, we've done that bit. I'll turn away from the stall. I think we just do that. Here's to continual growth into adulthood. Yes. That's it. I don't think you stop growing. I don't think there's ever a point where you're like, right, I'm done. You know, I feel like you just gotta keep going, keep learning, keep growing. You know. Right, what was I gonna put there? I was gonna put sound. There we go. Footsteps. Footsteps. Stall ambience fades. More walking. There's going to be a lot of interludes here, I think. Yeah, and I think this is just a monologue, isn't it? I don't think there's... Eclipse Sky, hello, welcome to the stream. It is wonderful to have you here. I only realised I'm ace relatively recently at 32. Fantastic. There was a really good comic from the Nib earlier today. Sorry, I'm gonna let me just get that up. It was a very, very, very good comic in the Nib about somebody who realised they were queer at, I think, 38. And it was very, very good. Let me just... Yeah, let's get this out. Yeah, so this is a comic. I'm putting it in the chat just now. It's called I Came Out Later in Life and That's Okay by Benjamin Allison Wilgus. It's very, very, very good. On layers, humans have a horny layer. Okay. Oh, this is the comic on Tiny View, and that's my email inbox. You don't need to see that. Okay, right. Let's just keep this as a monologue, and let's see if there's anything we need to add. Okay. Posture check. Oh, thank you very much. Yep, no, you're right. That was, I have been... You'll be pleased to hear, I now have, like, I reorganized my office and my desk, so I actually do have better posture most of the time. I also have a cushion, which is very, very good. I also have a vertical mouse, which helps with posture as well. And also, I have a wrist brace for when my repetitive strain injury flares up. So... I am looking after myself, I promise. Okay. Vertical Mouse Club. Honestly, I don't understand how I did anything different. It feels so good. It feels natural. Oh no, I pressed a button I shouldn't have. Oh god, no! Oh right, I'm gonna pop this over here. What did I do? Okay, there we go. That's better. Sorry about that, everyone. You betrayed me. And here I am hunched over the keyboard like Quasimodo. I mean, there is still a lot of that. I spend a lot of time leaning forward, just because like the arms of my seat kind of bump against the way the desk is made. I've got 2 monitors right now, and I'm kind of considering getting a one big one, a curved one. Apparently that's better for your eyes. I really want a standing desk. I like the idea of standing desks, but I've kind of tried. I think if I was for writing, I think a standing desk would be interesting. But also, we were talking about being queer. I can't sit in chairs properly. I've got like one leg under me right now. I'm constantly changing position and shifting around and things. So I have 3 monitors. I just don't have any wall mounting room, so they're all slightly lower than my eye line. 3 monitors? That's amazing. I also have the queer seat. Dedicated editing macro pads consoles are super expensive, but you know what ain't? A USB numeric keyboard and online keyboard remapping software. That's very clever. I really like that. I have I've got an old Novation Launchpad that lights up that I use for editing stuff. So it means for like hotkeys and stuff. Which is nice. Yeah, editing. My partner has a Cintiq, and they only managed to get that when they got a scholarship, an animating scholarship. I also use the Steam configurator to make my Switch Pro an editing tool as well. That's amazing. That's really cool. That is very, very, very cool. Yeah, because I think you get a similar thing with like Stream Decks. But yeah, that's really clever. I'm gonna remember that. I once played a game and sat on my leg for 6 hours straight. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've done that. When I used to be able to play games for that amount of time. Yeah, no, I've definitely done that. I've spent a whole workday sitting on my leg. That wasn't clever at all. It's important to stretch out. In the UK, I don't know if this was like a global thing, but in the UK there was like a really big panic. So also, content warning about medical conditions. There was a big panic about DVT, which they were really worried that kids were going to get it because they were sitting cross-legged in front of games consoles for long periods of time. Yeah, I remember my mum being like, if you're playing the PlayStation 2, be sure to be sitting on a chair, or like we got bean bags, like sit on the bean bags, don't sit on the floor. It's all that stuff. There was videos on flights where it was like, this is what you need, these are exercises you need to do while on the plane. It was weird. Anyway, no more medical chat. I also use Sammy, which is like a Twitch automation. Started out as chat redemptions. You see, I need to figure that stuff. I mean, not that I think this channel's ever going to get to that kind of size, but I do think I need to start thinking about that. Remember the loading screens used to have the little loading screen tips for telling you to stand up for a hot minute? Earthbound does this. Earthbound does a thing where you save the program and then like, or actually no, your mum calls you or your dad calls you and it's just like, hey, you've been playing for a long time, do you maybe want to take a break? Which I really like. I think that was something Iwata specifically put in, and like I have a 3DS, which for legal reasons I haven't tampered with. But I think we're playing Link. What is it called? Link Between Worlds. That does a similar thing where like you'll save the game and it'll just go, yeah, you've been playing for a long time. You should probably take a break, which I appreciate. If you want some tips, feel free to hit me up. It's quite easy to learn. Thank you. I'll absolutely take you up on that. Never sat up for a minute ever with that. Tom Nook can't tell me anything. I do like those to go touch grass features. I think I really appreciate them. I really appreciate when games do that, because they're kind of doing the thing that the games are actively saying, you stop playing, like disengage with our product for a bit. Can you imagine something like that doing that now? Like you get a little pop-up from Twitter being like, you've been on here for quite a long time. Do you want to maybe take a break? Like, anyway. Your dad calls and asks you to talk with him, which is saving. Yes. But I think he calls, even if you're not out. I think your mum calls you, or I can't remember. You know what I have nightmares about? The Rossetti mole who would yell at me for panic shutting off my DS. I do love the idea of Mr. Rossetti. I think that's fantastic. So I put a TikTok up about this today. I have a Wii now. I have a Nintendo Wii and lots of Wii accessories, including some microphones, which are not very good. And I'm not going to I'm not going to be doing anything to the Wii. I'm not going to be installing any other software on it or anything like that. But one of the things I am interested in doing is playing GameCube games, because I never played. I didn't own a GameCube. There's a lot of GameCube games I missed out on, including the original Animal Crossing. And I kind of want to do it just to sort of fully try to see how far I can push Mr. Rossetti. You have met your match. You've been on Twitter. Have you considered not for the good of your mental health? Oh god, you've never seen the GameCube Animal Crossing Empty Town. He would snap them all away with the music. GameCube was a go around to my friend's house and we'd play Luigi's Mansion for hours. That was kind of us, and then I'd go home when the streetlights came on. Yeah, that was kind of my experience with the GameCube as well. I think we used to play Mario Kart Double Dash. I think that was the game. Which I played recently, because there's a bar in Glasgow that has old arcade machines, and also has like loads of old games consoles set up that you can play, one of which is a GameCube, and we played Double Dash. Ooh, that's hard now. You've been on Twitter, have you considered not, as a quote. Yeah. I mean, that certainly seems to be the vibe at the moment. I'm not going to talk about Twitter. I'm not going to talk about. I've spent so much of the past couple of weeks dedicating brain space to Twitter, and I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm giving it more thought than I objectively should. Okay. Let's finish this episode. Am I looking for home? There is no sense of belonging anywhere I go. Not at the market, not at the temple, not in the room I woke up in. Where am I? Where is everybody? How did I get... I think you can keep this all as monologue. I remember walking those streets carrying books, heavy books. We can bring in some sounds with that, some like extra sound design there. Yeah, right, we can take that out. Let's bring these voices back. I'm excited to see what the voices sound like. The sort of excerpts from the Anamnesis book. I'm excited to see how that works in terms of sound design. I think we're going to communicate this through dialogue and sound design. Smash Melee was my party GameCube game. Mario wants blood and he will obtain it. Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee was R1 as well. I have Brawl on the Wii, which I'm excited to get back into, because I love those games. I think I've got Ultimate on the 3DS, but it's not the same. And I refuse to buy it on the Switch because it's so expensive and there's so much, there's just so much like extra stuff to buy onto it. I don't like it. I'm so bad at Smash. I kind of, I'm one of these people that like, just like, right, I will figure this out. But it's interesting when you look at how your character choices change as you get older. Because I used to be Kirby, I used to be Sonic. Still am Sonic most of the time. I'm a Sega kid. But now I'm kind of like, ooh, Ness, Samus. These characters. Ooh, these characters that are a bit weirder, a bit stranger. I tend to go for those. I suck and that's good. I'm an S-rank Splatoon player. I played a little bit of Splatoon when it came out, but no, it didn't quite. I had fun with it, but it didn't quite click with me. I've never really clicked with kind of these big kind of online games. I think where I went wrong is devoting my formative years to StarCraft and StarCraft 2. I think I went wrong was that I wasn't doing that because I wish I was good at those games. I wish I was good at strategy games. I've sucked so hard I got good. That's me in Stardew Valley, incidentally. Okay. So, sound, footsteps, stop, pause. I don't know what it is. When I was a kid, I loved action. As I got older, I loved spreadsheets. Stardew Valley gets a spreadsheet. I wish I was good at this. I wish I was good at that stuff. That's the thing. Like, my dad and my brother are really into strategy games, and it was something that we all bonded over. And as much as I love playing them, I'm not good. I'm not good at them. I tried getting good at Age of Empires 2. I tried to do the quick build, the quick castle age thing. Can't do it. Brain just doesn't work like that. It's why I enjoy Stardew Valley so much. I'm just like, I just want to build something nice. I don't want to have to fight people. Rome Total War, I always skip the battles because I was just like, I'm just happy just building an economy here. It's much more SimCity. SimCity was very much my vibe. I was the one in the strategy game going, why do we have to fight? Why do we have to fight? Age of Empires 2 is like, you can win through trade. No, you can't. That was a lie. You play until somebody has more people than you and more resources, and they kill you and everything, kill everyone. That's how it works. Economic victory. It's not a thing in Age of Empires 2. Right. You'd love the newer Total War games. I think Britannia has a really robust diplomacy system. See, again, there's just the Total War games. This is the same with like things like Crusader Kings as well. Dangerous. Like, I will lose years just like that. As much as I keep being asked about it, I'm happy just watching videos of other people playing those games. I've lost years to Crusader Kings 2 and Crusader Kings 3. I like watching videos of people doing silly things in those games. Yes. Right, so at this point... So let me go. This was my home. This is my house. And that's how we're going to end episode 2. We're going to have the character specifically say out loud, "This is my home, this is my house," rather than say, I'm standing. Whatever the sort of slightly dramatic kind of. I look up and realize that my legs have carried me to the front of a house that I know is mine. I think it's more fun. Just having somebody standing outside, just standing, pausing so you just hear the rain, and then just the character say, "This was my home, this is my house." I think that's a better ending to the episode. Story-driven games, turn-based battle system, and farming sims, yes please. I also enjoy really pretty puzzle games like Closure. I love turn-based stuff. Like Earthbound is still one of my favorite games for all its flaws. I'm currently playing through Chrono Trigger on the DS, which I've not done anything to, and I've not modded in any way. Yeah, I love these kind of slower, story-driven games. Tell you what I love to do, turning into an absolute psychopath in that Sword and Sorcery VR. Oh my god, I will never believe that humanity is inherently good as a result of that game. I think that just generally happens when you play games on the internet with people. Okay, we are 2 episodes down. We are 2 out of 5 episodes down. Okay. Oh, it's single player. I can't even blame the internet. That's amazing. Okay, we were at 2 out of 5 episodes down. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take 5 minutes to go grab myself another cup of tea, and I'll be back. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. When we get back, we will write episode 3 and maybe episode 4. Depending on how well we do, we might just write the whole thing in a oneer. First draft it in one stream. Why not? Have a really productive writing week. But yeah, so I'm going to turn the music back up, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. So I will see you soon. Hello, I have returned. It's only a couple of minutes. Let's turn that down a bit. Right. Okay, where are we at? So I am restocked on the hot drink. So now where are we at in the story? So basically now I return with a nettle tisane. Ooh, very much. Have I missed much? No, I've literally just got back. So don't worry, you have not missed anything. So we're at episode 3 now. So basically when I have the character walk around the house, walk around the house and have a couple of realizations, and we start to answer some questions, which is good and exciting. Oh, did I manage to put 8 in there? Didn't work 7 swords in at any point. Figure that out later. I can put that in. Right. Okay, so we are now on Act 3, Episode 3. Okay, you managed to find your home. Facade is unfamiliar. You fish the key out of your pocket and open the door. So I'm going to put these in. I think I'm going to keep these at the start of each episode. Just because I think having that sort of over the opening music, I think is an interesting little addition. Actually, which makes more sense if these are acts rather than episodes. Figure it out later. Yeah. Okay, let's get these bits here. Quite long entries this time around, so I think this is probably going to be a longer episode. It's very descriptive as well as the other thing. Excuse me. Okay. And then. Oh, this is gonna be a long episode. Okay. Okay. And then that's quite a short one. Okay, we can do this. I'm surprised the writing is moving so quickly. Ooh. Like, it's adapting really well. I don't feel like we're cutting very much. I don't necessarily think we need to add anything at this point either, which is quite good. Like, we're at 10:15 just now. I might push on through and see if I can get all 5 episodes done. Or at the very least, I'll get... I can get the episodes done and then... either have recordings next week or workshop them next week or something like that. So, yeah, just because this is going really well and I'm enjoying the streams as well. But I'm just very aware that moving into the workshopping and the recording stage is going to be really difficult. And well, not really difficult. It's just rather than it's going to be changing the format of a stream, you know, and that takes a bit of time to figure out. So I'll need to have a think about what is feasible and what's the best way to kind of do it. But we shall see. We shall see. I need to message a few people to see if they're available to do workshopping on short notice. Well, we'll wait and see. Right. Episode 3. Okay. So we'll end that on... Can I come back directly afterwards? Sound. Rain, wind. Okay. It's a while before I summoned the courage to go inside. Oh wow! Anyone see the fun writing thing I did there? I instinctively reach into my pocket as I approach the front door and find a set of keys in my pocket. I feel like it's understandable. SFX keys in pocket. How did you know? Have I become that predictable? Okay, unlocking. Unlicking? Did I just write unlicking? I absolutely just wrote unlicking. Okay. Okay. It's late. It's Wednesday. Unlocking the front door. The keys have been unlicked. I'm not even going to think about what that might entail. A stiff door. Footsteps, creaky floorboards. It's the eyes that are disturbing in that. I don't know why. The house is dark and abandoned. We can have like footsteps walking around the house at this point. Okay, there we go. Explore the house, and then we can have that as my house. Is this better? No, that is much worse. That's more eyes. That is more eye. There's not less eye. The eyes were the weird part, and more eyes. That's. I don't think there's any way to make it better. It can only get worse. Traumatized. Oh, pun of the stream. Up there with Hamletting. Mysterious, undefeated champion of stream puns. 2022. Okay. Okay. Here's a fun thing we can do actually. Our house. There we go. Introduce this idea of other characters. Sound. Door opening. Footsteps on wooden floor. Okay. I move into what looks like it was once a study. There is a desk by the window with a bulbless lamp, 2 empty cups, and the remains of a notebook with pages torn out. That will come up later. Put more footsteps. I think there's just going to be a lot of footsteps here. Just very slow footsteps. See, this is why audio fiction is different from audio books. You know, you don't have to describe everything. You can communicate that through audio. You don't have to narrate everything. Have some footsteps under this just to make it slightly more cinematic. Or this. Let's keep it as 2 people for the time being, because I think that keeps it as one thing. Oh, full of people, full of life. Oh, we ran out of music. Like, this is like a 3.5-hour playlist. I don't understand why clock out after 2.5. Oh well. You can sort of maybe have some strange sound. It'll probably be music based, but this idea of not being able to see the faces, I think. So I'm aware of what I just said, but now I'm very much going, oh, what the, no, what? No, what's going on here? Okay. What? Okay. Why are you doing this? Hello, welcome to Trying to Format Documents with Dev. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. Okay, was that so hard? Okay. Just a single, please. That'd be nice. That. Yes, there we go. Yeah. Formatting the bane of every writer. That took so long. Okay. This is my home. This is my sitting down. I say touching photographs. Some interesting sort of feely sounds. Feely sounds? There's a better word for that. Tactile sounds. Let's tactile sounds. That sounds less creepy. Let's call them that. This is my home. This is my study. Let's put sound. Collecting paper. Sliding across floor. So just sort of picking up lots of sheets of paper. So this is why everyone in audio drama has books rather than Kindles. It's because Kindles don't make much noise. Same reason why everyone is suddenly into listening to things through cassette tapes in audio drama rather than CDs or even MP3s. because it sounds more interesting. Everyone in audio drama has the confidence to be able to just phone people rather than sending a text. ASMR YouTube begs to differ. I need to probably... turning page. Acrylic nail taps on screens. Oh yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. No, you got me there. That's a very good point. Have lots of big music here. Have kind of a bit of big music here for... I'll take formatting over editing any day. I don't know. I quite like the editing process. It's kind of chiseling away. So I'm going to put this as brackets reading. Yeah! Oh, learning how to do that was fantastic. It is my cat's playtime. He has elected to make me aware of this by snuggling into my arm in a way that means I cannot move my arm to get up and play with him. He then makes sure I am vocally reminded of my inaction by screaming at me. Yeah, that sounds very familiar. Yeah, Poppy's weird right now. Like, she'll go through days where she's just like sleeping all day, and then like there'll be a day like today where she's just like energy, 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 energy. Play with me, play with me, play with me. But I'm also doing that, so like, I guess it's just winter, I suppose. Do the same thing here. Doubled over with additional recording. So here's what we're going to do for this particular line. We're going to have this character reading. They won't let me through. I know what I'm doing. But I think I'm also going to get myself and maybe somebody else to read it to read it in capital letters, basically, to kind of as the person who, you know, writing it. So it's almost like a kind of a memory coming through as they read it aloud, which I think is going to be an interesting effect. Excuse me. So I think that's an interesting audio effect, I think. So yeah, that's a good one. Brecht, a fantastic name for a cat, by the way. Brecht usually hates my guts and is a total mama's boy. Last week he has remembered that I'm the one that generates the most body heat. Our cat just sleep. There's pipes under the floors, and Poppy knows where all the pipes are, basically, because you'll find her just chilling out on them most of the day. Right, I need to double that over. And then we'll have a turning page. Oh, we've actually got dynamic sound design happening here. That's good. I was worried we weren't going to have any. That sounded withering. It wasn't. It was just... I was just concerned that we wouldn't have... Am I doing this right? I feel like I'm... Yeah. Okay, another passage is copied from a book. Oh, this... You know, we talked about taking formatting over editing any day. This section is all formatting. This page is just formatting who is saying what. Okay. And again, I can do this. No, don't need the I must remember. I've got that bit already. Oh, the music stops. Oh god. Sorry, that's been on for a while. I beg your pardon. There we go. Just writing in silence. Sorry. And then we'll put the. How do I get back there with the VOVO? Sound turning page. This is a sequence. What a concept. So we can do a lot with doubling over and having other voices here and things. I think it's going to sound really interesting. I think it's going to be tricky to pull off in a way that's convincing. But yeah, I think that's going to sound really interesting. Okay. Oh, it's a turning page, beg your pardon. I don't know who I'm apologising to. Who's pardoning, I'm begging. So I think for... So with this letter here, I think we can... I like the idea of it either having no extra voices over it, because I quite like focusing on the idea that the person writing it is alone. But also, I don't know. I'll take it off for now, but I like the idea of... I'll probably ask whoever I'm asking to do additional voices to also record this as well. Yeah, just to kind of have an extra idea. Just so we've got the option of playing around with it, because this scene is interesting to me in terms of the sound design. I think it's kind of going to be the centerpiece almost, you know, which is good because it's pretty much in the center of the series. This episode is more pages, but I suspect that's more down to the fact that it's just got more stage directions in it rather than just monologue. But yeah. Okay. If these are my notes, I was trying to follow them. If these are my notes, I was trying to find someone, or was I trying to follow them? I stay in the room, sitting on the floor, looking at the photographs and reading the notes, trying to remember. Okay. Okay, we need a sound next. So. Coming up. creaky floorboards. Footsteps. And then we have more view. I don't think we need to edit this at all. I leave the study and head towards what was once the kitchen. I pull out one of the wooden chairs and sit at the old dining table. I don't... I think... Do we need... I think we can maybe cut this. I don't think they need to go to the kitchen. Because here's the thing, so there's going to be rain in the background, kind of like in the first episode. So yeah, I don't think we need to go anywhere. I think we can just stay here. Like have a pause, basically. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that whole bit there because I don't think we need to. I don't think we need it. I'm gonna take that. I think this bit's going to be tricky to communicate. I think we need to... That's why they go to the kitchen, but I don't necessarily think they need to, though. That's the thing, I think we're gonna have... Okay, we're gonna do a very obvious audio drama thing in a second. It's gonna sound... On paper, it's gonna look really cheesy. But it's something we can figure out with recording and editing to kind of make it a bit more natural. Because I know I can do this because I've done it before. I've done something like this before and it's worked. Okay, and this is... Oh no! What? Okay. Gonna put that here and then bring it back down. And you didn't do everything right. I hope it was worth it to get here. Okay, so it was pretty much exactly the same as. Right, let's have this kind of do this sort of interesting thing where it's like a conversation between the inner and the outer, you know? Okay, what are we doing here? Right. Let's do some sound design movement. So we're gonna have one front door open. How are we gonna do that? We'll figure that out. Paper blowing. Paperboying? I know what I mean. Getting up. Closing the front door. Aside. So we're going to have the character go, what's this? Just basically just say, what's this? And then lean down. Oops. Nope. And then just see kneeling. I guess they're just wearing trousers that make noise. Picking something up. Picking up a photograph. Picking up a photo. There's something very wrong. What is this place? There's a photograph lying on the floor that I didn't see when I came in. It's another picture of the same couple that covers the wall in the study. We'll say in front of this house. I still can't make out the faces. I turn it over and see that there's something written on the back, and then we'll have the character have a noun. That's how we'll end it. We'll have it with an additional recording as well. So it's gonna have multiple voices saying it. Ah! Excellent, and that is episode 3. That is how we're gonna end episode 3. Fantastic. Okay. How much further do we have? 4. Okay, we actually have a lot to get through with Act 4 and Act 5. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I think we've made really good progress tonight. I think probably what I'll do. So next stream we'll do episodes 4 and 5. We'll finish the series. It might just be a 2-hour stream. I mean, I say that, but like, you know, who knows? And then I will see if I can organise a. It is a buttload of progress. I was not expecting this to go as well as it did tonight, considering how long it took us to write everything in the first place. This has gone very smoothly. I was only expecting to maybe get 1 or 2 episodes done, but to get 3, that's really good. But yeah, so I will try and organise a workshop for Wednesday. I'll try and see if I can get a couple of people to hop on a stream, and we can talk about we can do a read through and do some critiques and things. If I can't organise that, what we can do is we can go through the script and we can do a read through either way. Even if it's just me, and then if it is just me, then I can start making notes about sound design and start coming up with music ideas and tones, vibes, atmospheres, references, that kind of thing. So we won't be doing any recording next week. We might have some guests on the stream either way, but so we're doing that next week, and then week after we'll start recording. So we're recording. What week is that? Is that what week are we on? So that'll be the 21st. So yeah. So from the 21st onwards, I think we'll be starting the recording progress. Guests, yes, indeed, guests. So before I started on this project, before I started streaming, I asked a couple of people if they were interested, if there was the opportunity for extra voices. in this project, if they'd be interested, and if they were interested, would they be okay being on stream and recording? And a couple of people said yes. So yeah, you'll be finding out. I don't want to say who they are just in case they've changed their minds, which is totally valid. But I will try and get that sorted. Either way, is it too late to add an extra yes? We'll see. We'll see if we're short of people. Because I'm very aware that I'm very aware that kind of doing this stuff on stream is very difficult. Trying to do critiques while also being in front of people is quite a weird thing. But either way, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm really enjoying these writing streams. I'm having a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I think it's going really, really well, and I'm really, really enjoying this process. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming. We stream every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time. If you are interested in the game where this has come from, there is a link to Anamnesis in the chat. Please go check it out. It's a fantastic game. This story wouldn't exist without it. There's also an Anamnesis jam that is up here that is going on until January 31st. So if you want to get the game and then do your own thing, write a story, or make an audio drama, or make a game or a hack of it, there's still loads of time to do that. So yeah, go please do that. It deserves everything. But yes, so thank you so much for coming along. How are we doing for the music? I'll let this music play out. So enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you soon.